Hey guys, it's the X-Wing Pilot. Today we're going to do my Rebels review. So I just got finished watching the episode. It is episode 4. They keep changing it. Last time, the Lost Commanders was season 2, episode 1. Now it's season 2, episode 2. I don't know. I'm going to go with this as episode 4. I didn't do an episode 3 review because I was really busy last week and I was going all over the place. But I'm going to do one this week. So, basically, Zeb, Sabine, and Ezra, well, Zeb and Sabine, Ezra just happens to go with them, are sent to go to an old Rebel medical center, or not Rebel, I'm sorry, a Republic medical center, to get some medical supplies. They're there, they're looking for the supplies, and they come across 2 new Inquisitors. The episode is very fast-paced, very much action, but you don't get a lot from Kanan or Hera or Rex in this episode. I thought it was a very good episode. So we saw some conflict with Ezra. We saw some not a lot of fighting from him still because he's still just a Padawan. We saw some fighting out of Sabine, but what really shined was Zeb this episode. Zeb stepped out a lot. Zeb basically, Ezra gets captured, and the Inquisitors know about Ahsoka, and they're trying to get him to give him up, and they capture Sabine. And Zeb saves the day. He saves the day. The Ghost. He uses the Ghost or not the Ghost. I'm sorry. That's the big ship. The Phantom. That's what it is. I always forget the name of it. I'm sorry. But he uses the Phantom to lure in the Inquisitors, and this gets Ezra and Sabine free, and they fly off. They escape the Inquisitors, and they tell Kanan about the Inquisitors and all that. Now, this episode is big for advancing the story of this season of Rebels. We have been introduced to the 2 new Inquisitors now. We were introduced to one already, but it wasn't a proper introduction. Now we've actually seen what they're all about, and we see what they're going to do this season. When Kanan finds out, he seems very upset, and another thing I really liked about this episode, by the way, I can't believe I didn't mention it. Kanan and Rex are still very much at odds. They are not seeing eye to eye. They're arguing like little children, and you can tell there's a distrust from Kanan. He does not want to trust Rex, and that's going to play a huge part in this season. Towards the end of the episode, things are a little better, but you can still tell there's a distrust there between them, and you can't blame Kanan because of what he's gone through, but you can't blame Rex either because Rex hasn't done anything. But this episode was really good. It was very fast-paced, a lot of action. There was a lot of building onto the story, because what's going to happen now that these 2 new Inquisitors have been introduced and they both know about Ahsoka and they're looking for Ahsoka. So that's big. Obviously they're aware of Ahsoka because Darth Vader felt her in the Siege of Lothal. So that's not a big shocker. So the Inquisitors are not just hunting down Kanan and Ezra anymore. They're hunting down the entire Rebel fleet. They want to wipe out the Rebels completely. That's going to be huge. And Kanan was able to take out 1 Inquisitor barely. Now he's got 2 of them to worry about. Ezra's farther along in his training, but Ezra still isn't where he should be. He is still not a Jedi. He is a Padawan, He's got a long way to go. And so Kanan is really in a difficult position here. He's got 2 Inquisitors he has to take out, because Ezra, as much as I like Ezra, he's not ready for that. He is not ready to take on an Inquisitor. And we saw a little bit of it in this episode where he tries, and he gets it handed to him because he's not ready. He is going to have to develop a lot in this season to be ready to do that, and I think that could happen. But there's 2 characters in particular. In this short amount of time Rebel's been on here, it's only been on for about a year, that are quickly becoming 2 of my favorite characters. And that's Sabine and Kanan. I really like Sabine and Kanan. The Kanan backstory I think is really cool, and the thing I like about Sabine is we don't know much about where she came from, and that intrigues me. And she's obviously Mandalorian. We know that. She's got a very a big disdain for the Empire. So I like how they gave her a lot of screen time this episode, because with so many characters now, you've got Hera, Kanan, Ezra, Zeb, Chopper, Sabine, Rex now, Ahsoka. That's a lot of people to give time to. So they're giving Sabine some time, which I liked. And the more popular people on the show, like Kanan and Rex, took a seat this week. They took a seat so that Zeb and Sabine could get some screen time, and I thought that was really cool. And overall, the episode was great. I enjoyed the episode. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, solid 7. It advances the story a lot. It tells us that there are more Inquisitors out there, and they are hunting down the Rebels. And it's not going to be good for the Rebels. It is not going to be good. It's going to come to a head at the end of the season. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be the Inquisitors, Kanan and Ezra going at it, and Ahsoka and Darth Vader going at it. And if that's the season finale, you're going to get a lot of viewers, because that's freaking awesome. And sad thing is, though, if we see Ahsoka versus Vader at the end of the season, it's lights out for Ahsoka. Ahsoka will die to protect the Rebels. So that's my thoughts on the episode. I thought it was a very good episode. I highly recommend it. And see you guys in the next review.